Insurance Business was recently on the ground at Riskworld, the Risk and Insurance Management Society's annual summit, where we heard insurance executives' views on the most critical issues in the industry today. In this episode of Insurance Business TV, we ask, what strategies have proven most effective in making insurance careers more attractive to Gen Z?
I think from the Gen Z standpoint, a lot of them don't understand what is all entailed in our careers, right? So when we're talking to Gen Z, really, they are thinking about insurance as something related to cold calling or something that's really basic and that's not interesting and doesn't entail other parts of their life. What I found to be very effective is telling them a little bit more about what's behind insurance and how it's touching every aspect of their life. And, when you think about things that they care about, things on TikTok and on social media, when you think back to a couple of really big celebrity kind of scandals, when you start tying that together and talking about how Amber Heard trial was really all about the insurance money, when you think about all of the disasters, when you think about all of the difficult things that happen in the world, every aspect of life is touched by insurance and really comes back to risk management. To me, that's a really big, important component to explain to them what we do. And then the other piece is they want to feel purpose in what they're doing. They want to feel like what they're doing matters. It's that generation that really wants to have like kind of a sense of I'm changing the world, I'm doing something impactful. Tying that together, you're not cold calling people about a fender bender. You are doing something really meaningful, something really important. People are going through the worst incident of their life, right? They may be hurt, something may be damaged, they may be dealing with a really significant trauma. They are scared, they don't know where their next paycheck is going to come from. You are there, you're the person that stands between them and that next reality of how they're going to live, and you can really make such an incredible, impactful difference. And you're talking about individuals kind of at every level of careers. You could be talking to nurses, to police officers, you could be talking to people working in a manufacturing plant. So you're sitting there wearing those hats as a claims professional, and you could really make that difference. So I think it's between explaining to them what we do, and then also opening up the sense that insurance is not just about underwriting and claims. There's so many careers available. Claims to me is a foundation of everything we do. So you've got to learn that first, but then every door becomes open for you. You could go into analytics, you could go into client services, you could go into sales, you can go into different various account management components, you could build systems, you could do project management. I mean, really any career you want. And the best thing about it is this is probably the most stable of any industry out there. When things are happening, layoffs are happening, even during COVID, this is the industry that survives. This is the industry that's always there. And this is the industry that's going to persevere.
Honestly, I think they've done that all, or they figured that out all by themselves. So a lot of the traditional, so going into medical, going into law, all those kind of industries, it's a very tough industry to go into. There's limited spaces for them to go into. I think they're finding alternatives of where to go to that kind of, where to go to those places. We offer, risk management and insurance degrees weren't around when I was coming into insurance. There's more opportunity for them to go into those fields. With economic degrees, for example, we're finding they're coming into our data and analytics teams. We've got lawyers that actually, join our claims practice because the complex claims that they have to deal with, and even forensic accountants for big BI claims. We use all those kind of professional people. So they're starting to find those jobs themselves without us having to really, worry about it. So I think it's they're pretty good. Gen Z are pretty resilient, and I think they know actually where to look out the best opportunities.
I think we need to do a better sales job on our side, really to show the different aspects of what we do. It's really a multifaceted job. There's the analytical side, there's the marketing side where you get to interact with distribution partners and insureds. It's really the sales side from my standpoint. We haven't really spoken to young generations about what we do and the different dynamics that we have.
I don't think any yet. I don't think we're still not yet. We're not the choice for career advancement or even starting your careers. We need to work on being a more attractive space. But I think the first steps for us to follow is to be louder and prouder about what our industry does. We touch everything around us. the world would not go around without insurance. So those that have specific hobbies or interests, they can find their space in insurance. And that's the exciting part. We have worked with musicians and sports teams all the way to rocket ships. So it's really good. It would be good for all of us to band together to talk to the young talent and come up with strategies. The one thing that I do know that we've been involved with is at the collegiate level. We've been talking to colleges for a while now to highlight the importance of the industry and the fun that we get to have. It's really important to, again, not hang our head low when we're saying we work in insurance. It is risk management nowadays, less so than insurance. I think those young professionals that are in the industry already also need to have widened opportunities. WBN has created a Catalyst program for young professionals under 35, or those that are new to our industry. And this way we can have a global and strategic approach to our young talent, keeping them in the industry as well. So it's not just attracting the new talent, but keeping the talent as well.
Yeah, I would say, working for a multinational company like Allianz, where we have a lot to offer, new talent trying to come into the organization, that want to work for a multinational company where their careers may involve travel or working abroad, which seems to be quite attractive to that generation, the Gen Z generation. Also, our steadfast cultural beliefs and inclusivity and environmental also seem to be topics that are appeal to many young talent. And then I would say the final thing is our culture around work-life and focus around work-life balance. So maintaining flexible work in the office, a hybrid working model, and also providing the technology to have collaboration, which is key in communication, but in less traditional mediums, so to speak. So I think all these factors have really helped us bring in some tremendous young talent that we have through programs such as our associate program that we heavily invest.
Thank you for this question, which I think is very important because one of the big issues that we are experiencing in any industry, our own industry, insurance industry, but any industry, is attracting young talents. And I think insurance as an industry has been a little bit backwards in this respect, and now we are moving in the right direction. And I think one of the important things is to show to Gen Z people that we are much more relevant, much more social driven also than they would think. Insurance is seen like a boring thing, and young people do not see the social value of insurance, which is very important. And to show that is a first thing that can attract them. Another two important things that I want to mention are inclusiveness. So Gen Z people, they want to work for truly inclusive people. So the DEI thing is something that we need to be very serious about. And the other one is a flexible work environment. I mean, like remote working, like giving them the right balance between work and life. That is something that people nowadays consider very important.
So I have children and nieces and nephews that are really looking for more. And I think when I went into the industry, which I find to be wildly exciting, I didn't have very high expectations. Now, I think what this population is looking for is more of a work-life balance, which I applaud them for that. I think they're looking for a greater sense of purpose and alignment between the corporate purpose and their personal purpose. And then third, I think they're looking for much more acceleration in learning and development. And so at Swiss Re Corporate Solutions, our mission is to make the world more resilient. So I think that is very much aligned with our younger population. However, we need to make sure that they understand what their part in that is and really get them excited about it. And then what I would say on the acceleration of learning and development, we're a risk knowledge company. And I think the more that we are able to teach, then the more we can inform them, and then our employees inform our clients, and it helps the entire ecosystem. So we just need to continue to focus on that because I do think it improves everything.